520 meals, every single day, from a galley smaller than your apartment kitchen. No windows, no flames, no second chances. This $13 billion submarine runs on a heartbeat you never see. A handful of cooks working 4 meal windows around the clock, 300 feet below the surface. The fresh lettuce is gone by week 2. The bread ovens never sleep, and if the galley fails, the whole patrol feels it. Here's how they pull it off. Welcome to the Columbia-class ballistic missile submarine, the Navy's most expensive boat ever built. Each hull costs low teens billions. Buried inside is a galley the size of a studio apartment. The crew is around 150 sailors. They stand watch in shifts. Every 6 hours, another meal window opens. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and mid-rats, the midnight meal for the night shift. 4 services a day. Multiply by crew count and you hit 520. Every day, for months. No resupply, no delivery, no store run. The galley is the boat's heartbeat. Miss a beat and everyone feels it. Before the boat leaves port, the real work starts. Loading out. A submarine patrol can last months. Every meal for every sailor for the entire deployment has to fit inside before the hatch closes. The galley team plans the food load. It's not guesswork, it's math. Crew size, patrol length, calorie needs. They build a menu cycle that rotates without repeating too often. The goal is simple. Keep people fed, keep them happy, don't run out. But space is the enemy. Storage is wherever you can cram it. Under deck plates, behind bulkheads, in walk-in coolers tucked between torpedo rooms and reactor spaces. The loadout follows a strict order. Fresh first, frozen second, shelf-stable last. Fresh food is gold. Lettuce, tomatoes, milk, eggs, real butter. For the first week or two, the galley serves salads and fresh fruit. Morale is high, but fresh doesn't last. Produce dies. Milk spoils. Bread molds. So the cooks plan for the decline. Week 1 is fresh everything. Week 2 is half fresh, half frozen. By week 3, it's frozen vegetables, canned fruit, powdered milk. The trick is staging. You load in reverse order of use. The last things eaten go in first. The first things eaten go in last. Onions and potatoes last months if stored dry. They go deep. Frozen meat goes into freezers, logged and labeled. Canned goods stack floor to ceiling. Flour, sugar, rice, pasta, oil, spices, coffee, lots of coffee, and bread. You can't store enough fresh loaves for a full patrol. They'd go stale in days. So the galley brings ingredients, flour, yeast, salt, and they bake. Every day, multiple times a day. Fresh bread becomes the one fresh thing you can control deep into patrol. The smell alone changes the vibe of the boat. The galley also plans portion control. Not to starve anyone, to prevent waste. On a submarine, waste takes up space and smells. Serving sizes are calculated. Recipes scaled to head count. Leftovers minimized. By the time loadout finishes, every cubic foot is packed. Cans under the floor. Rice bags in torpedo racks. Frozen turkeys wedged next to sonar gear. It looks chaotic, but every item is logged. Every location mapped. Because 3 weeks in, when someone needs paprika, you don't have time to search the whole boat. The loadout is Tetris where losing means hungry sailors and low morale. And on a ballistic missile submarine, morale is mission critical. Before the boat leaves port, the real work starts. Loading out. A submarine patrol can last months. Every meal for every sailor for the entire deployment has to fit inside before the hatch closes. The galley team plans the food load. It's not guesswork, it's math. Crew size, patrol length, calorie needs. They build a menu cycle that rotates without repeating too often. The goal is simple. Keep people fed, keep them happy, don't run out. But space is the enemy. Storage is wherever you can cram it. Under deck plates, behind bulkheads, in walk-in coolers tucked between torpedo rooms and reactor spaces. The loadout follows a strict order. Fresh first, frozen second, shelf-stable last. Fresh food is gold. Lettuce, tomatoes, milk, eggs, real butter. For the first week or two, the galley serves salads and fresh fruit. Morale is high, but fresh doesn't last. Produce dies. Milk spoils, bread molds. So the cooks plan for the decline. Week 1 is fresh everything. Week 2 is half fresh, half frozen. By week 3, it's frozen vegetables, canned fruit, powdered milk. The trick is staging. You load in reverse order of use. The last things eaten go in first. The first things eaten go in last. That way the freshest items are closest to the galley when patrol starts. Onions and potatoes last months if stored dry. They go deep. Frozen meat goes into freezers, logged and labeled by cut and date. Canned goods stack floor to ceiling. Flour, sugar, rice, pasta, oil, spices, coffee, lots of coffee, and bread. You can't store enough fresh loaves for a full patrol. They'd go stale in days. So the galley brings ingredients, flour, yeast, salt, and they bake every day, multiple times a day. Fresh bread becomes the one fresh thing you can control deep into patrol. It's a morale weapon. The smell alone changes the vibe of the boat. The galley also plans portion control, not to starve anyone, to prevent waste. On a submarine, waste takes up space and smells. You can't just toss scraps in a dumpster. Serving sizes are calculated, recipes scaled to head count, leftovers minimized. By the time loadout finishes, every cubic foot is packed. Cans under the floor, rice bags in torpedo racks, frozen turkeys wedged next to sonar gear. It looks chaotic, but every item is logged, every location mapped. Because 3 weeks in, when someone needs paprika, you don't have time to search the whole boat. The loadout is Tetris, where losing means hungry sailors and low morale. And on a ballistic missile submarine, morale is mission critical. Once the boat is underway, the galley never stops. Submariners work in watches, 6 hours on, 6 hours off, around the clock. People wake up and go to sleep at all hours, and they all need to eat. So the galley runs 4 meal windows every 24 hours. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and mid-rats. Mid-rats is short for midnight rations. It's the 4th meal, served late at night for the crew coming off mid-watch. Officially, it's leftovers. Unofficially, it's the most loved meal on the boat. Sailors crush mid-rats. Sandwiches, pizza, chicken wings, chili mac, whatever the cooks can pull together. It's comfort food when you need it most. Each meal window runs about an hour and a half. The line opens, the crew files through, plates get filled, then cleanup starts and next meal prep begins. It's a cycle. Prep, cook, serve, clean, repeat. The galley crew is small, usually 4 to 6 culinary specialists. They rotate shifts to cover all 4 windows. Someone is always prepping, someone is always cooking, someone is always cleaning. The workflow is tight, space is measured in feet. The serving line is narrow. Cooking stations are elbow to elbow. Hot pans move from oven to counter to steam table without room for error. And everything is timed. Breakfast starts at 0500. Eggs, bacon, sausage, pancakes, hash browns, biscuits and gravy, oatmeal, fruit if it's early in patrol, coffee by the gallon. Lunch is the heaviest meal. Burgers, tacos, fried chicken, roast beef, mashed potatoes, corn, green beans, rolls. Dinner is lighter but still solid. Pasta, stir-fry, casseroles, soups, salads when produce holds out. Mid-rats is the wild card. Sometimes it's planned leftovers. Sometimes the cooks go rogue. Nachos, sliders, quesadillas, breakfast for dinner. It keeps morale up and gives the night crew something to look forward to. But the real secret weapon is bread. Baking happens in cycles. Dough proofs while one meal is served. It bakes during the next prep window. Loaves come out hot just in time for the line to open. The smell of fresh bread in a sealed submarine is powerful. It cuts through metal and recycled air. It makes the boat feel less like a machine and more like home. And it's intentional. Fresh bread is a psychological reset. It says, we're still taking care of you. Timers run constantly. One for the oven, one for the steamer, one for the fryer. The galley sounds like a countdown. Beep, beep, beep. The galley rhythm is relentless. 4 meals a day, 30 days a month, for the entire patrol. No breaks, no off days. If the galley slips, the whole boat notices. Late meals kill morale. Cold food kills trust. And on a strategic deterrent submarine, trust and morale aren't luxuries. They're requirements. So the cooks keep the rhythm. 6 hours, 4 windows, 520 plates, every single day. On a surface ship, you can crack a window, you can vent smoke, you can open a hatch if something burns. On a submarine 300 feet down, you can't. The air you breathe is the air you have. It's scrubbed, recycled, managed by life support. Contaminate it and everyone suffers. So the galley has rules, strict ones. No open flames. Everything is electric. Ovens, griddles, fryers, steamers, all powered by the boat's reactor. Electric equipment runs cooler and cleaner. It doesn't produce combustion byproducts. It doesn't eat oxygen, and if something goes wrong, you can shut it off. But electric gear has limits. It takes longer to heat. It doesn't brown food the same way. The cooks adjust. Lower temps, longer cook times. They make it work. Temperature control is obsessive. Every fridge and freezer gets logged multiple times a day. Cold food stays below 40 degrees. Hot food stays above 140. The danger zone in between is where bacteria grow. One bad batch of chicken could put 30 sailors in their racks. That's a quarter of the crew. So the cooks follow HACCP protocols, hazard analysis and critical control points. Temps get checked, logs get signed, food gets dated and rotated. First in, first out. Sanitation is constant. After every meal, the galley gets scrubbed. Cutting boards, knives, pots, pans, counters, floors, everything. And then there's trash. On land, you throw food waste in a dumpster and forget it. On a submarine, waste is a space issue and a smell issue. You can't let garbage pile up, it stinks. It takes up room, and you can't just chuck it overboard. Floating trash bags compromise stealth, so submarines use a trash disposal unit. TDU for short. It's a vertical tube from the boat to the ocean outside. Trash gets bagged, weighted, loaded into the tube, and ejected under pressure when conditions allow. It's carefully timed. You don't run the TDU during silent running. You don't run it in shallow water. You wait for the right moment, then blast compressed trash into the deep. Even food waste follows rules. Organic material breaks down. Plastics and metals get handled differently. Some items get stored for port disposal. And then there's odor control. Cooking smells are fine when fresh. Bacon in the morning is morale. Bread in the oven is magic. But old grease and trash smell bad. In a sealed environment, bad smells don't leave. They circulate, they seep into bunks. They make life miserable. So ventilation matters. The galley has dedicated air handlers that pull cooking vapors out and route them through scrubbers before recirculating. The cooks also clean as they go. Grease traps get emptied. Drip pans get wiped. Spills get mopped immediately. Because on a submarine, sanity is tied to the senses. If the boat smells like a dumpster, morale collapses. Cooking without fire isn't just a safety rule, it's a systems challenge. Electric heat, strict temps, constant cleaning, controlled waste, managed air. The galley isn't just a kitchen, it's a life support node. The cooks aren't just making food, they're maintaining the environment that keeps 150 people functional for months. Word count, 548. Capítulo 5. Morale on a plate. Why food might be the most powerful system aboard. Why kill? A ballistic missile submarine is a weapon system. It carries enough firepower to reshape continents. It operates in silence. It disappears for months. And it depends entirely on the people inside. You can have the best sonar, the quietest reactor, the most advanced missiles, but if the crew breaks down, the mission fails. And one of the simplest, most powerful tools to keep a crew together is food. Good food is predictable comfort. It's a rhythm you can count on. No matter what's happening outside the hull, breakfast still comes at 0500, lunch still comes at 11:30, mid-rat still shows up at 2300. That reliability matters. It's a small anchor in an environment where almost everything else is controlled and unpredictable. And when the food is actually good, it does more than fill stomachs. It builds trust. The cooks become the most popular people on the boat. Sailors remember the mid-rats nachos, the Sunday pot roast, the surprise birthday cake baked 300 feet down. Those moments aren't trivial. They're proof that someone is looking out for you. Submariners talk about food constantly. What's for lunch? What's for mid-rats? Who's cooking tonight? Did you try the chili? It's not complaining, it's engagement. Food is one of the few things on a submarine people can have opinions about. Everything else is procedure and orders. And the cooks listen. They adjust, they experiment within limits, they try to keep the menu from getting boring, they sneak in favorites, they make mid-rats special when they can, because they know. Food is morale, and morale is mission readiness. There are rituals, birthday cakes when possible, holiday meals, Thanksgiving turkey, Christmas ham, 4th of July barbecue, made as close to real as a submarine galley allows. On some boats, the last night before surfacing after a long patrol gets a special meal. Steaks if they have them. Lobster tails if supply smiled. A symbolic end to months underwater. It's not required, but it's tradition, and traditions matter when you live in a steel tube. The Columbia-class boats are designed with lessons learned from decades of submarine operations, improved layouts, better storage, more efficient equipment, even small upgrades to galley workflow. But the fundamentals don't change. You still need to feed the crew. You still need to do it well. You still need to do it every day, on time, without fail. Because a submarine crew running on bad food or late meals operates at reduced capacity, slower reactions, lower focus, worse decisions. And when your job is to operate a strategic nuclear deterrent in silence for months at a time, you can't afford reduced capacity. So the galley matters. The cooks matter, the bread matters, the mid-rats nachos matter. Great food isn't a luxury on a ballistic missile submarine. It's silent combat power. It's the difference between a patrol that grinds people down and a patrol that holds together. It's 520 meals a day, every day, for months, in a kitchen the size of a closet, with no windows, no flames, and no second chances. And somehow, it works. If this inside look changed how you imagine life under the ocean, subscribe. We go past the hatches and into the systems that actually make the mission work. Comment what galley question you want answered next. Menus, baking tricks, or waste systems, and we'll take you deeper.